Hey guys, welcome. It's Marcy, the Cranky Crafter. It's Watercolor Wednesday, and we're back in the ink and wash book for another lesson. I think we're on, what are we on? Lesson 5? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we're on 5. Yeah, this one was tricky. About did me in. She just kind of busted right out of the gate with a hard one. Probably seeing if we were going to be, dedicated to our task. So I've got my sketchbook. This week we're doing a butterfly bush. Yep. That's what we're going for. I think it looks a little bit easier now. Knock on wood. Because now that I've said it, I probably jinxed myself. We used to have a butterfly bush actually in our yard until we got a windstorm and it ripped it right out of the ground. Yes, it did. Okay, so, well, now that I clip this in here, I need to go back a page. It says we're using quinacridone rose, which I don't have. So I'm going to use what I did last exercise, which I think was like geranium something. French ultramarine. I don't have that, but I do have ultramarine blue. So I'm going to go for that. Van Dyke we don't have, so I'll use something similar, and then sap green. So we're going to be mixing a little bit this time. It says the first mix for the outer petals on the small blooms is mostly the ultramarine with a hint of rose. And then the second mix for the lower part of the blooms, where they attach to the stem, is going to be equal parts of those two. That don't hardly look like she's added any pink. I have some that I mixed up here already in the middle. I don't know if that's going to be right, but we'll try it. We might have to adjust it as we go. Otherwise, she's using a number 4 brush, pencil, fine liner, you know, the normal stuff. She says, here we utilize the power of watercolor because when we're working with a brush, no, that's not what she says at all. Here we utilize the power of watercolor because when we are working with a bush with clusters of blooms, we don't want to Can I talk today? No, I cannot. We don't want to overcomplicate our fine liner sketch. That's what I'm talking about. Don't overcomplicate the sketching. Less sketching, more watercolor. That's what I'm saying. That's pretty much what I was saying the whole time last lesson. Too much sketching. All right. Step 1. Start with a super simple pencil sketch of a long, slightly bent line with 2 side branches. All right, well, I'm pretty sure I can do that now that I've said that. And I'm also starting out with my dirty water because, you know, that's what we do on this channel. Okay, I might need to... I can't fit all this in here, you guys, so we're just going to work. I'll hold the book up as we go. Okay, right now we're making a pencil sketch. Okay? Okay. And it looks like there's a little bit of buds up here, so I need to leave a little bit of space, I guess. But otherwise, she's kind of doing that. And then coming down. There's a branch there. And then it looks like a little one like that. That's probably the easiest part of the whole dang thing. All right. Use the first color mix to paint the small blooms with the size 4 brush. Got my brush. Make some big and some small, but keep them light. Have a big cluster at the top of the branch and then smaller ones toward the bottom. The flower shapes are irregular. Some are teardrop, some are almost squares, and some are ovals. The shapes do not matter too much because it's the number of blooms that give the illusion of a floral cluster. Oh, well, you just said the shape doesn't matter, so you just gave me creative freedom to do whatever I want. Okay, I'm going to go with kind of what I have mixed here. I don't know if that's right, but that's what I'm doing. Actually, I think it might need just a touch more blue. Maybe. All right. So we're basically just making little flowers everywhere. Yeah? I can do that. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I'm not really giving them any real like shape. I'm just kind of squishing my brush around. I don't know if that's right. Oval, square, teardrop. How about squishy paint brush? She didn't mention that shape, but that's kind of what we're going with. I'm thinking I might, you know, like do some and then look back and see if I feel like I need to add any. Like if there's any spots that don't look right. I don't know, are there supposed to be some right on the branch? I feel like butterfly bushes are kind of like cylindrical, like the blooms on them. Of course, I could be making that all up. I did get some, I went out and ran some errands today, and I stopped in my local bird seed place where I get my bird seed from. And they had some window clings that I'm going to try for the window. They're like bird shaped, but they're made out of whatever the cling material is. It's like supposed to create prisms. How far down am I supposed to go? It's supposed to create like a prism effect on your window. So, all right, well, thought we'd try it. They weren't cheap, man. I think they were $20 for seven birds. And then in the directions, it's like, you should put them every 2 to 4 inches. Dude, do you know how big my window is? Marcy's not doing that. So I started with one package, and I'll see how we do. It's been good so far because now we're kind of in like our gray season, so there's not, you know, as much reflection. Okay, and then she comes down like right above this and just does a few smaller ones. So yeah, I haven't had too many instances lately, and I'm thinking that's because it's been so gray and rainy. But I'll take it. It's a nice reprieve. You guys hear the garbage truck out there? Collecting all the bins. Or rather, turning them upside down and dumping them out. They're not really collecting them anywhere. Okay. Now, I'm going to leave it, but I'm reserving the ability to come back and add some if I feel like I want to. Step 3. Paint the branch in the middle using the brown. Then paint the small stems that attach the blooms to the branch with the second color mix. If you remember, the second color was more half rose and half blue. So probably more purpley. If the Van Dyke brown isn't entirely dry when painting the stems, that's completely fine. That will make the paints flow a bit into each other, creating a beautiful transition. All right. So I got some brown on my palette. I think I might need to add. Okay. So now we're just doing the whole branch, I guess. Do we really want it to be that thin? I'm kind of making mine a little wavy. I don't think she said anything about that, but here we are. And I certainly didn't need to make it that big at the bottom, but here we go. And then, are you supposed to paint the side branches? Looks like she does partially. Yeah. It's kind of light. Hers is quite dark. I'm going to add some paint right from my palette. So yeah, I'm hoping that the clings will help me. And then I also inquired with them about bird bath heater, because mine is pretty much giving up the ghost. Just keep making it thicker even down there. I mean, why not? Okay, what's next? Then paint the small, oh yeah. So we're supposed to use the one that's like half rose and half blue. That's too much. Okay, I got like a purpley color here. And I'm supposed to make the stems with this? That's what she said? Well, let's start up here, I guess, because then is each one supposed to have a stem? Heck if I know. All right, that's not bad. I'm in the zone, you guys. Husband's supposed to be back tomorrow. He's taking overnight flight. So overnight, all night tonight. And then, well, when you'll be seeing this, we'll already be like back from all of our travels. But he had to do like an overnight flight in order to get home in time. What's that called? Is that what a red eye is considered when you fly overnight? I don't think I've ever done that. I think he's going to be tired and potentially grumpy. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe he'll get asleep on the plane and it will be fine. Kind of come out like this. I don't really know how you're supposed to make these, you know, it looks kind of like she's grouping them at the top. Like that. Doesn't look very full. It doesn't look like many blooms. All right, what now? Add leaves using the sap green, and while it's still wet, drip in a bit of the ultramarine blue. Let the leaves vary in length, but have them all end in a fine tip. Let a few of them overlap for a sense of depth. Okay, so the leaves are coming off these little branchies. She's got like, look. She's added like brown all up there. I think I need to do that. Okay, we'll do the leaves first. What is it? Sap green? That's 37. 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. I often have to count my pans because I don't have the colors memorized. So when you hear me counting, that's why. Like, I know I have 11. Well, you can't see it. I know I have 11 pans in each row. So that's what I'm doing when I'm counting. All right. We're making leaves. That's not nearly enough paint. That one's going right off the page. And what'd she want us to do? Drip in some blue? Okay. Can't really see it. Oh, there it goes. There's a little bit. I have wet my paints again. And then she's got a couple more coming off the top. I'm gonna add some blue in there. Okay, all right. And then we need the ones on this side. One. I don't know about them overlapping anywhere. Oh, she's got another one coming out of this one. That's too wet. If it gets too wet, just pick some of it up with a dry brush. And that should help you. Okay. And then a couple more up here at the top, I think. Maybe, like light ones. That's too much paint. So I'm drying my brush and picking it up, some of it. That was too much for me. And we can add in some blue. Oh boy. All right, but she's got another one on this little guy. Okay, now add a few small oval buds between the leaves. Keep them in the rosy mix, but add a bit of green to make them look younger. So like in here, like where the leaves join together, it sounds like. And then add some green. Oh boy. What step are we on? Step 5. We're already on 5. Okay. So just a little bit of buds in here. And add some green to it. Well, you can't hardly see that. Okay. Mine are kind of pink, but here we are. Okay, I'm going to turn this a little bit. So now we're kind of crooked. Should have done this side first. We'll add a little green in there. Is that right? Oh, she didn't even add any of that one. I just did it by myself. How not to follow the directions in the book. Got something on my brush. All right. There's that bit. And then next we're going on to the sketching, but before I get to that part, I want to add some more brown. Like, she kind of had these wrapped in brown. Shouldn't have made those so thick. It's fine. Her paints must have stayed much wetter than mine, I'm guessing. Or she came back in after. I can't know. All right. There's that. But I wonder why she made us make these pink when the rest of the flower is almost all blue. Because they're brand new, is that why? Talking to myself. All right, what do we think? It's kind of a little bit lackluster in my opinion. So I'm gonna add some more because I can if I want. That's the motto on this channel. I can do what I want. It just feels like, I don't know, it needs a little oomph to it. I'm gonna get it all. Maybe it will help once we do some of the sketching, you think? Think so? I'm just making this up now. And only because it looked so naked. Maybe it's supposed to look naked. I'm going rogue, you guys. Who was it that went rogue already? Tony? I think she went rogue. And she turned out, her piece turned out absolutely stunning. So there we are. That looks a little bit better. Let's just compare what her, yeah, hers is like that. And ours so far is like that. What do we think? All right, I think that's better. I think we're gonna need, I think the sketching's gonna help. Why am I the one that always takes the longest? For Pete's sake. Let me just add these little branches, little stems, and then we can do the sketching. This one was definitely more simple than the cherry blossom. If I had to say, that's my opinion. I think overall the consensus was that the cherry blossom one was a little tricky. Okay, Step 6, sketch outlines for the blooms and stems with the fine liner. You don't need to add a lot of detail to the single blooms. The number of small blooms is more than enough to make an impression of the butterfly bush. Yeah? Well, I'm going to add some. I don't think she did this, but I'm doing it. Okay. I think this just gives it some dimension, texture. Gotta move that. I should have started at the top so I don't smear it. Smudge it. Smear it? I don't know. What's the proper term? I'm not supposed to do all of them as I sit here and do most of them. I'm not quite certain what exactly we're supposed to be going for shape-wise in the sketching. So there is that. I wonder why she doesn't want us to do the majority of them. I kind of like the sketch. Okay, what are we thinking? How do we know when to stop? That's the question. Okay. She did some of her stems. Yeah. I don't think she added any to this bit, but I am. Especially since this one wasn't even in the picture. It's fine. Mine has extra baby buds. Okay. Is that good? Are we happy with this? All right, I guess that's what we're going with. Did she do all of them? I thought she said not all of them. But I'm looking at her finished product, and the majority of them are sketched on. All right, I'm calling that good. I'm calling that good. Calling it good. Now we just need to I'll just stamp it on my own because this has been a long one and you guys are probably bored out of your gourd. Okay, butterfly bush complete. Is that what it was called? So I know what to stamp. Yeah, butterfly bush. Next week, is a dandelion. That doesn't look like any dandelion I've ever seen in my yard. If they looked that pretty, I probably would leave them. Look at that. That one might be kind of simple too. We'll see. All right, there we have it. Hopefully, you guys stay tuned for this. Next week, we'll do the other one. I guess that's it. I don't have any other news. And I gotta go and get my stuff packed. So I'll see you guys next time.